All right. Thank you again for stopping by and checking out another fabulous episode of Dave the IT Guy. Hey, tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about home security. So, we all need a little bit of home security, right? We all want to jump into the 21st century and be able to monitor our homes via wireless cameras or all-in-one secure systems, right? So, hey, let's jump right into our conversation and let's talk about what are we going to do if we want to keep track of our home. Maybe you have some teenagers or some preteens, maybe some 12-year-olds that come and go from school a little bit before you get home from work, and you just want to kind of make sure things are good to go, pretty kosher, right? That they're safe. I mean, that's kind of the bottom line for all of us, right? Well, there are a lot of options, a lot of options. So let's break down a few of the things that I personally use or know people that use or I've tried out or whatever. And let's talk about my opinions. And hopefully that'll lead you into some opportunities to review for yourself and see what you like. So, first, let's talk about online security. And as far as I'm concerned, right now there's only one device that you need to look at, and it's from Walt Disney World, actually, the Disney company, and it's called the Circle. And then they have this thing called Circle Go that we'll talk about. And now, Disney's Circle is all about control of your internet. And we're talking about some great control. First of all, you can develop profiles by members of your family, users. So, teenagers, adults, younger children. Or you can also set up uh, profiles by devices. Maybe you have an Xbox or some other, PlayStation, some other gaming device, a Chromecast, or you have cell phones, and you have laptops, and you have iPads and Android tablets, and all these other things that connect to the internet. But maybe you just want people to disconnect, put down the technology and come to dinner without checking their phone. Or you want Tuesdays to be tech free Tuesday. A lot of families are, putting something like that together. So we have a lot of options here. Well, with Disney's Circle Go and their Circle product, you basically download an app to your phone. You buy this device that's a cube, about the size of a small post-it notepad. It's $99 online. You can find the link to Disney at my website at dtig.net. That's David Thomas India Golf .net. Stands for Dave the IT guy, oddly enough. But go to that link and take a look. So you download the app, you buy the device, it gets shipped to you by Amazon or whoever you buy it from. The actual setup from the time you take it out of the box until the time it's doing its job, 5 minutes or less. Bunch of YouTube videos that you can watch about it. You can go in and set even by app. So if you've got the Hulu app on a smartphone or a tablet, you can say, okay, Hulu is allowed to have 1 hour of internet time per day, per week, per month, whatever, per user even. You can even say, okay, Hulu on a smartphone can be 1 hour, but Hulu from the Chromecast can be 3 hours. So you can really get granular in how you want to control things. So you can go by app, even Internet Explorer. Hey, I only want my Google Chrome or my Internet Explorer browsers to work on the internet for X amount of time per day. Or you can set schedules. Okay, between 5 and 6 p.m., no internet at all in your house. And that way, everybody puts down the devices for dinner time, right? Or you can set it up, okay, between 6:30 and 8 p.m. during the school year, only these websites are allowed. And that way you know that your kids are only using homework helper type of websites, research sites. So you can break it down by what website they can go to or how long they can spend. I mean, it is so awesome. There's even basically internet off buttons. So you press the button and it's like a panic button, right? You press the button and instantly the internet is just off. Nothing's going to work until you press the on button. So such a great device. For $99, you buy it once. There's no subscription fees. It's crazy. Now, the limitation, of course, is that you are only controlling the internet at your house, whatever's in range of that little cube. Well, that's where the Circle Go comes into play. Now, that does have a subscription price. I believe I want to say $9.99 a month. Might be a couple dollars either way, right? So, for the Circle Go, you're basically saying, okay, this is my family, these are our devices, right? And you'll go through some steps to assign devices to your account, and those devices are like fingerprints, right? Each individual phone has its own numeric code called an IMEI number, and you would set that up, right? Anyway, so that way, if your son or your daughter goes over to a friend's house for an overnighter, right, and they're just going to sit there and be on the phone all night long, and maybe you grounded them, right? Maybe you don't want them on the internet that much, even when they walk away from home. So you can set up through the Circle Go, basically the restrictions go with them on their device. Now, sure, they're going to hate you for that, and their friends will probably mock them for that. But that way, if they're savvy enough to say, okay, I'll just go to my friend's house and do whatever it is I want to do, you will even outsmart them. So yeah, if you want internet control, don't worry about all the other parental monitoring controls. Don't worry about any of that stuff. $99 one time. Go buy yourself a Circle Go, or the Circle product. I'm sorry, the Circle Go is the product that you would buy if you want that control to go with them as they go outside of your home. So, Disney Circle, you can check it out at dtig.net. Look in the right hand side, you'll see a big link for it. Go check it out. It's pretty awesome. So let's jump into some home security. Now, home security means a lot to different people, right? So you have a lot of different things that you can do. One of the most common things that we're seeing these days are either wireless camera only systems or a combination of cameras and traditional alarm type things like door open sensors or glass break sensors or smoke alarms or carbon monoxide alarms or water alerts like for flooding. So there are a lot of different combinations of those type of things. Again, one company right now just head and shoulders above everybody else in that space. And when I say that space, I'm talking about the total home alarm thing, right? The door sensor, the glass break sensor, the smoke alarms, whatever, and that's Simply Safe. If you haven't checked them out before, just Google Simply SIMPLI Simply Safe. Now, Dave, the IT guy, makes no money by telling you this. I'm telling you this just because it's awesome. I mean, it's one of the most kick-ass products out there. And hey, Simply Safe people, feel free to send Dave, the IT guy, some extra samples of stuff. I'll be happy to do some giveaways on the show here and let other people see it too. So, but all joking aside, Simply Safe, you've got so many options. You can buy, predetermined kits that have, X amount of door sensors and wireless key fobs so that you can turn the system on and off, and wireless touchpad alarms that you mount, to your door or near your door, I should say, or near your bed. Motion detectors that work even with pets. A big loud siren to scare the bejesus out of somebody that does come into your house. Even includes yard signs, carbon monoxide detectors, smoke detectors, water, etc. So again, you can kind of customize your own package. You can even include cameras into the system. Basic package, the basic starter package is right around $230, $250, something like that. So you can even buy refurb systems. So, somebody buys a system, it breaks, somehow they send it back in. Simply Safe refurbishes it, resells it for about 20-30% off. with the exact same brand new warranty as any of the new stuff. So, by all means, look and see if they've got a refurbished system that meets your needs. But Simply Safe right now, you can get the basic alarm monitoring, which is included, um, or you can get you can pay some extra money and get I forget what they call that package, but you basically get yourself some like real time. Here's my monitored package offerings, and I'm gonna stutter my way through that because again, I'm not their sales rep. I just like their product, and they're just right now they're just heads and shoulders above. You can go out and spend yourself a bunch of money on ADT or some of these competitors, and you can spend $30 a month on monitored alarms. I do think the Simply Safe, as I think about it, I think it's like $14.95, so $15 a month for the real time monitoring, etc. So no contracts. You don't you just either like it or you don't, and if you don't like it, you send it back. Um, just crazy. Simply Safe is completely wireless. Every piece of their alarm system is wireless. The window stuff you uses two-sided sticky tape, and it tapes right next to the window or right to the door, and your motion alarms put them right in a corner of a room, and no hole drilling and no cables to run. But you are literally again, just like with the Circle from Disney, you're up and running in 15 to 20 minutes, maybe 30 if you're slow, right? And you just don't know what to do with yourself. So Simply Safe, check them out. If you're getting an alarm system and you get anything else, frankly, you're probably wasting your money. And let's not beat that horse, but Simply Safe, that's the way to go. So let's talk about camera systems only. And there's a lot of stuff out there these days that call themselves wireless, but the cameras themselves have to have a power source, right? So you've got to be able to plug them into a plug, so they're not truly fully wireless. Well, that's changed. In the last 12, 15 months so, two companies have risen to the top, and those are Arlo, ARLO, which is a wireless system, and then the Blink for Home, BLINK. So Blink for Home. Both of these, again, there are links on my website at dtig.net, Dave, the IT guy.net, DTIG. Take a look and see what you think. But there's some real differences between these two companies. Of course, price is one of them. The Blink systems are a little bit less expensive. Um, they include your 7 days of video storage, so you don't have to pay monthly to host your video. So once you buy your camera packages, and those packages are anywhere from $249 for the base package up to a few $100s if you want to buy a big package with multiple cameras. But um, they the Blink system is what I use at home. I do not use the Arlos, although I have bought the Arlo and then tried it out, and I ultimately returned it. Now, I did that about a year ago, and since then, both companies have actually changed and gotten better, and I'll tell you how. And I'm skipping around here because I'm so excited about this part of the topic that I have to slow myself down and think about what facts I want to tell you about. But the Blink system, so let's start there. The Blink system comes with batteries that last on average right around 2 years. Now again, I've had our system now for a little bit over a year, and I have not changed my batteries yet. And my front door camera and one of my other cameras, I have 5 camera system, and 2 of my cameras are motion activated. All of them are motion activated, but 2 of them get activated quite a bit, and I still haven't changed my batteries out yet on any of my cameras. So the cameras are battery operated, and they're wireless. They have a range of about 300 feet, so they are truly a wireless system, just like the Arlo. You can, as long as you got signal, you can put the camera up. Now, in the last 30 days, the Blink systems have introduced what they call the Blink Outdoor. So up until this new camera, Blink was not rated for outdoor use, meaning they were not waterproof or weatherproof. If you stuck them out somewhere where they got rained on, or if it got too cold, they would not work very well. If they got wet, they'd probably be damaged, or if it was too cold, they would not work because their housing could not handle too cold. And what I mean by too cold is under 25 degrees or above 110 for the too hot side. Now, full disclosure, I have two of my cameras of my five outside. Now, one is on my front porch undercover, but it's outside in the temperature, right, in the wind chill. And then I have a second camera that's in one of those temporary, like, pop-up sheds, something that, it's not permanent structure, but at our house we use it as a permanent structure. We store a little bit of stuff, nothing valuable, but I put a camera out there because I wanted to see in that type of environment how long would that camera last. So far, again, I've had my camera over a year. So far, so good. I have not changed batteries. The camera still works. And last year we had a winter that hit several days in a row of sub-zero temperatures, and the camera kept on ticking. Um, the cameras can do what they call motion activated, and you can adjust the clip. So it can do from a 5-second video clip up to 60-second video clip that it will record. And then, so if it records a 60-second clip, it'll reset itself, and that's called a retrigger time. You can adjust what that retrigger time is, anywhere from 5 seconds up to a minute, right? And then it'll take another clip, and then it'll just upload that clip to your online storage. It'll send an alert to your phone where you're watching, and you can view that video in near real time. You also have the opportunity to use your app and click on any of your cameras and do a live view. Now, the live view does not record what you're seeing. The recording only happens if it's a motion activated event. But at least, if you know that your kid is supposed to be home at 2:30 and you want to watch for them to come in, at 2:29 you can hit live view and just kind of watch your camera for a minute or two until you see your kid coming into the house. Of course, motion activated would also trigger that camera to show you that your child is home. But anyway, that's one example of how you could use or why you would use live view, or maybe you've been gone for a couple days and you just miss home and you want to kind of jump in and take a peek at the dogs or your bird or something. So you can certainly do all of that. So to kind of reset, the Blink is completely wireless. It runs on batteries. You can buy yourself rechargeable batteries that you recharge, or you can buy standard batteries that you just throw away and replace. The camera is the standard cameras come with a light. So in low light situations, a blue light will turn on and illuminate the area so that your camera can see. The new camera that just came out is night vision capable, and the new camera is in a weatherproof housing so that it can be straight up outside in the rain, the snow, the storms, the cold weather, and still do its thing. So that is what's different about the new camera that just came out. So let's talk about its competitor, the Arlo. So the Arlo is pretty much the same idea, right? They've got these little plastic housings, completely wireless. They run on batteries and they connect to your wireless. What's different about the Arlo Pro is that the cameras themselves come with embedded rechargeable batteries, and the camera comes with a plug to recharge your battery with, right? So you charge your camera up and you put it out there, and the camera will last on a rechargeable battery depending on a lot of things: how much it's activated, how cold it is, that sort of thing. So these batteries last anywhere from 2 months to, up to a year per recharge. And again, it kind of depends on how much it's used and temperature and other things. And then you have to recharge it. So the camera life is not as good as the Blink systems. The Arlos are a little bit more expensive as well. I believe their starter kit is right around the same $250 for the base control in one camera, and then you get up to right around $420 for the base and two cameras. Whereas, once you start adding cameras to the Blink system, you're looking at $99 for the regular and about 120 for the what they call the XT, which is the full-on night vision, in a housing type of weatherproof housing sort of deal. So much cheaper to start building that system out. So the Arlos have, so they have that nice little recharging capability. But if you buy yourself some rechargeable batteries for the Blink, you kind of end up in the same place. Now, one thing I neglected to mention about the Blink is that the Blink has audio. So when it's recording the video, you're talking about one-way audio. You can hear the audio. So that's kind of nice that you can hear what's being recorded, but you can't talk to that person. Well, with the Arlo, you can. There are two-way audio is capable. So, if you see somebody on the front porch, and it activates your camera, you'll on the camera you'll hear them. Hey, is anybody home? Whatever. Now there's going to be some delay because it's motion activated, right? And then you see the video and then you respond, and that might be a 5 second to a minute delay, depending on how fast, where you are in the world and how fast you get your video notification, how fast you respond, and etc. But you can at least talk both ways. So that part's kind of nice that I wish the Blink would do. But I will say this is that the Blink development people are very, very aggressive. You tell them what you like, and two-way audio has been on their radar for some time. So I don't know that they're going to do that, but I would be really, really surprised to see that they don't. But that is a nice feature that the Arlo does. So so you can buy rechargeable batteries for your Blink. But the rechargeable battery comes with the Arlo stuff and the two-way audio. So very nice. And as I talk, I'm looking at an Arlo site, whereas the add-on camera for the Arlo is $189.99 for the outside capable night vision camera. The equal camera from the Blink system is $119.99. So we're talking about a $70 per camera difference. So big difference. So so there you go. Arlo and a Blink for home. We've talked about the Disney Circle and the Circle Go, which is the outside of your home capability. And then we talked about Simply Safe for security. Now, one of the things that we like to talk about a little bit when we talk about these cameras and things, these all fall into the realm of what we in the tech field call the Internet of Things, or IoT, right? So these are things that are not computers. They're not, you're not controlling them or looking at them every second of every day normally like you might a computer. So they're not computers. So the Internet of Things, people hear of things like their baby monitors, the audio or the video cameras being hacked by the next door neighbor or somebody else halfway around the world and screaming and yelling at the kids. So those things have a lot of default settings that you can Google and find out what the default setting is. And whoever set those types of things up may not be tech savvy enough to know how to change it, and so they get hacked pretty easily. And I'm not sure if I'd call that a hacking more than I would just call that taking advantage of the fact that whoever bought it and set it up just didn't know any better, right? They didn't know how to set it up more efficiently or more securely. the Blink system, the Arlo systems, the Disney Circle, and the Simply Safe. All of these things are far more secure out of the box. And so what that means is that, with the Arlo and the Blink camera systems, for example, these things talk to a base station. These base stations talk to your wireless, and then they are available via the internet. Well, in order to actually hack one of these cameras, somebody would have to access your wireless, right? Which may or may not be easy depending on how much you set it up. But then they have to hack the base stations. And these things aren't set up with, a 123 password or password as the password or anything ridiculous. These things are set up by people who are security, experts in the field, and um, they're not just plug and play like that. They are plug and play for the end user, but the actual setup on the back end is much more sophisticated, and the predefined settings that these base stations use are far and away, more are configured by more tech savvy people than the average Joe. So um, that really is the difference between, hey Dave, why would I buy one of these things for even the Blink system at $250 or $150? Why would I buy that? And instead of just going onto eBay or Amazon and buying the teddy bear with a camera in his belly for $19.99. Well, that's why. The security difference is far and away much bigger. And besides, do you want to put one of these cameras in your house knowing that somebody else might have hacked it and watched you, watched your family? I wouldn't do that. But I'm certainly, far more secure and comfortable with my systems. And again, I use the Blink for full disclosure. I have that Blink system at my house, but I'm not getting paid a penny by telling you about it. So hey, it's all good. So so if you have questions, feel free to hit me up. Ask me questions at visit my site. DTIG stands for Dave the IT Guy, and it ends with .net. Check me out on Twitter at DTIGCINCY, which DTIG Cincy. I live in Cincinnati. You can also Google or look me up on Facebook. Search Dave the IT Guy. You'll find me there too. So feel free to tweet me a message or a question. Hit me up from my website or whatever. Ask questions. Ask me if I've heard of something. Maybe I've heard of a different product that you're thinking about, and I'll give you my honest opinion. And if I don't know anything about it, I'll contact the company and I'll ask tech questions on your behalf. Or maybe they'll even send us a system that we can test and know, hey, if this is really a good product or not. So a lot of options. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to do what I can to make sure that what you buy is what you need, and that you don't waste your money on anything ridiculous. All right, well, that's going to just about do it for today's episode of Dave the IT Guy, and I don't know what else to say. So I'm going to say thanks again for stopping by and checking me out. Hit me up if you have questions. I'm going to be live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Feel free to come back. I have the ability that if you're listening to me live from the Spreaker, SPREAKER.com website, or if you go to my website, DTIG.net, while I'm broadcasting, there'll be a little panel that'll open up on the right. There's like a little chat bubble. You can hit that, ask me a message. It'll come to me in real time, and I'll be happy to answer your questions in real time. So, all right, that's it. We are now at about 6:30 in the East. I'm out of here. Have a great night. Talk to you next week. And remember, don't be afraid of the technology, but make sure you know what you're doing, because one wrong move and all kinds of bad things can happen. Stay safe and secure. I'm Dave the IT Guy, and catch you next week.